Yep, I've been drinking again.
Oh shit.
Folks, I'm off of two Panera drinks, but it's not what it sounds like. Since I've downgraded to the regulars, I've decided that's enough. It's like 130, 150 or something. I drank one a few hours ago, and then I DoorDashed another one. So I'm hovering around like the 300 range, which is 90 less than what the large used to be. So I'm not even geeking like I usually am, but I have been drinking again. And it's because we got to talk about this GTA. I want to be hyped up for this. We might have these gamers listening to this tangent video, right? We promised them we would be back with part two of this tangent. And we've seen the trailer. When we did part one, the trailer wasn't out yet. But it's out. We've seen it.
The official trailer, okay? From Rockstar. They had to release it a day early because the leakers did get a hold of it. Not the one that we saw last week, but...
Yeah, not the AI one that you sent, but the real thing.
This is the real one, and this is more like it, quite frankly. Let's talk about it, but how do you want to structure this? Because I don't want this to turn into a 2-hour GTA discussion, which it easily could.
It could, but look, we're not gamer. I haven't been a gamer since I would say honestly 2007. I'm a casual. It's weird to say, but I've been a casual for years now. But I mean, it won't.
I'm definitely more of a gamer than Mel at this point. I'm still gaming.
I was gaming, I can't say heavily, but I haven't played a video game since October of 2021. And when I was playing games, I got into this Destiny 2 a bit. I was playing that for like a year and a half, and I was playing it pretty heavily. And then I put it down. I pulled an Andy. I don't want to play with you more. I dropped the fucking controller on the hardwood floor and never picked it back up. But this game, I don't know. We were going to talk about what we saw and what we think and what we feel. Okay, so
yes,
I figure we can.
We've both played all of the mainline GTA games.
Mm-hmm.
Mel and myself. I've played Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead Redemption 1, and Red Dead Revolver. Mel has only played Red Dead Revolver, correct?
This is right. In the year 2004, I rented it and I was playing it and it froze and I never got to finish it. I had printed out cheat codes from the computer lab and everything. But
what about LA Noire, Mel?
Never played it. I mean, you're more of a Rockstar man than me. I'm not it's not that I
guess, hey now, I'm a rock star, right?
God, didn't that man die? R.I.P., right?
R.I.P., okay, but
R.I.P.
hey now, I'm
to
a rock
Mr.
star.
Smash Mouth. What's his actual name?
That song, I don't know, but that song's got to be in 6.
Okay. That is something that I'm looking forward to when they drop that radio list, the songs that are going to be in it. But I figure we can format it like this. Do you have a rating for this trailer?
Yeah, 8-.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go 6+.
Wow. Not a winner?
Gamers who are unfamiliar with our system, go to raprankings.com, check the FAQs, and we're just applying it to video games instead of rap songs. Yeah, 6+.
I'm surprised to hear 6+.
Well, you are. I mean, I was telling you on the phone like 6+, 7-, but I decided 6+. For people who don't want to go to raprankings.com, I'm basically saying it's I don't dislike it, but there isn't enough there for me to say that I like it. I have a list of pros and cons written out because I don't want to start rambling.
Okay.
I mean, I can kick it off if you like me to.
Sure.
I figure I'll start with the sugar. I don't want to be one of these complaining ass people on YouTube. So pros. One thing I saw in the trailer that I liked. Someone pointed this out. It's a perfect word for it. The density of the pedestrians, meaning there's a clip in the trailer where you see like the beach. That's, I've never seen these games so populated. Like there was a large amount of people on that beach when they show like the cars on like the strip. Like I'm not used to seeing like traffic, like bumper to bumper traffic in Grand Theft Auto. As far as I remember, I don't remember ever seeing anything like that. So that was cool. That shows that we're working with some real powerful hardware this time around. I mean, not that the other stuff has been not powerful, but we're taking advantage of it. That seemed interesting to me. So that's a pro. Another thing, it appears to be a map with some size and scope and variety. The shots, like the overhead shots they were showing, it looked like a real robust map. I can only hope it doesn't feel empty, because what's the point of having all that space?
Similar, but that's not a complaint about the trailer.
No, that's not. I mean, right? I don't know what it is. It's a pro. I like how it appears.
I know I feel the same way that you do, and I know we're both basing that off of how all that extra space was utilized in 5.
Yeah. Because I remember they were like, oh, the GTA 5 map is like, what did they say? It was like 3 times San Andreas, or it's like all of the previous like PS2 era maps in one with some extra room. And I'm like, oh, wow. And then you get the game and it's fucking Los Santos and then a bunch of fucking desert in like Greenland. What is that? No, Greenland is a country. The shrubberies and such. It's nothing. Where's the Mike Tyson drop? It's just nothing, man. Like, it was nothing to do out there. Granted, I stopped playing the game after 2013. Maybe they added stuff. Maybe on online it's like more, things to do out there, but it felt like a jip to me. It was a scam. It's like, yeah, you got space, but hardly any of it is that interactive. I think it's going to be different this time around based on what I've been reading as far as leaks and what I saw in the trailer. So That's a pro.
I was talking to you about this off air, and I was talking about Red Dead Redemption 2 and how, that map is huge. Mm-hmm. And there's no cars. You have to get on a horse, so you'll be riding through a lot of, scenic areas that are fairly empty at points. You at points have these random encounters with civilization, though. And I was saying, I hope we get the same kind of random encounters, chance encounters in GTA 6 that are in Red Dead 2. That's where a lot of the lore is in Red Dead 2. If you remember, Mel, one time you were helping me figure out how to summon Nosferatu.
Yeah.
In Red Dead Part 2, you collect all these different, scriptures that are written on the wall. You go to the brothel and go to sleep. You have to go there between a certain time, and Nosferatu will be there about to, suck someone's blood and leave another victim. And if you kill him, you'll get his dagger. There's things like that. And then there's just smaller ones, like, people who are on the run and you can help them break their shackles and help them escape and stuff like that. I hope we have a lot of random encounters in this game, and it's not just something where it feels like you're going from mission to mission and it's just like, go here, fetch this, go here, drop this off. That gets a little repetitive. And I thought that, the way that Red Dead was able to subvert that by sending you off on, little side missions that you never expected to go on through chance encounters. I hope that, is in this game as well. And, from the trailer, you see the alligators. We're in Florida, so there's, swamplands and stuff like that. Anyone who's played Red Dead 2 knows about the gators. I'm glad the gators are not leaving. They're coming from Red Dead right into GTA 6. I have to say that was my number one favorite thing about the trailer.
The alligators.
Yes. I also like feeding people to alligators in that game. So I was very attached to them, and I didn't want to have to say goodbye to them if we were going to another title. So shout out to the Gators. That was my number one pro.
I spoke with you on the phone about how what matters to me. Like, I was reassured when you told me that Red Dead Redemption 2 had so many, like, is the phrase procedurally generated? Like, so many,
they're not procedurally generated. It's like you have to be at a certain area at a certain time for certain, chance encounters to be triggered. For instance, there's a group of guys in those swamps near the alligators. I forget their name, but it's like a group of killers in Red Dead, and they're kind of creepy. They're like a death cult or something like that. And you can only find them if you go through the swamp coming out of Saint Denis between the hours of like midnight and 3 a.m.
Okay, that actually reminds me. There's a gamer deep cut. No, not a deep cut, but
they're not
Mortal Kombat
procedurally
Deception,
generated. They won't just show up anywhere at any time.
In Mortal Kombat Deception, there were certain unlockable chests that would only appear at, say, like midnight on a Tuesday. But like that's not a random event. That's like if you know where to be, it will appear. What I guess I'm talking about is I want there to be randomly generated things. That's what I'm saying. So that like I would hope with this game, I would see like a clip from someone, something cool that happens, and I can't go out and replicate it. It's like a once in a lifetime thing, which means the game can keep surprising me forever, infinitely. Like I don't know what
this
they have
kind
to
of
do.
works that way. It's the idea that, you know, you can go looking for something. Let's say you see a video and you're like, oh, I want to find this little Easter egg. You can do it, but it's not really meant to be looked up like that. It's meant to be stumbled into, if that's what you mean.
Now, I want things that can't be looked up, not things that, like, if you satisfy the parameters, it will activate. No, I'm talking about stuff where it just happened.
So you want procedural generation, but you want it done with, like, smart AI, not like Starfield, where they just put the points of interest 3 to 5 minutes away from where you land, and you run to the point of interest where there's randomly generated enemies.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest. I just, the phrase procedural, I don't even know. There ain't no procedure. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but random is. I need things to happen that are not like on a timer or predetermined.
In that trailer, you see that a lot of it looks like there's like viral clips from like TikTok or something like that. And I was telling you, if they utilize that in a way where those are your highlights that have gone viral, that could be really cool.
Yeah, I was telling you on the phone because that's a con, which I'll get to. It was a con until you mentioned that, and I was like, yo, it'd be dope how usually when you get wasted in Grand Theft Auto, there's like a fade until like you being regenerated outside the hospital or the jail or whatever when you get busted. Instead, if you fill that gap with like footage of you on a rampage from Pedestrian, like that would be dope. And like, hey, have it bleed into real life where you can share that footage. You know,
right?
Like
we'll see how it's utilized. I'm on the fence about it. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. With the obviously they're, you know, trying to simulate reality to an extent, holding a mirror up to our society, but it's, you know, it's kind of like tacky. You know, you don't get stuff like that in Red Dead. So even if they are going for a more serious tone than, say, Grand Theft Auto 4, or I'm sorry, 5, with like all the quippy Trevor bullshit, you know, it's not going to be as serious in tone as Red Dead 2 was. It can't. It exists in modern times, which are much more unserious than, you know, the Old West.
It should be stated now to anyone listening, Moles and I don't give a fuck about no online, for the record.
Oh, yeah, I'm most likely not even going to be messing with that at all.
Don't
I didn't with 5. I've played maybe total of like an hour or two of GTA Online in the entire, you know, span of it being an online game. That doesn't interest me. I'm here for the, you know, campaign, and I'm here to fuck around in the world and see, you know, hopefully that there's things to do and events that can trigger that don't involve the main story.
Speaking of the story, as I wrap up these pros, I like what I guess we don't know for sure, but this implied storyline and the tone of it, like this Bonnie and Clyde thing. I like the idea of it.
I'm fine with that.
I like having a woman as a protagonist finally. I like that there appears to be stakes possibly worth getting invested in instead of just your general, you know.
Yeah, I like that I do like that there's a sense of like, okay, there's higher stakes here. There's emotion. I can tell just from the idea of it being a Bonnie and Clyde type of story. I have no interest in, getting into any of that discourse about, oh, GTA's gone woke. I think this is fine. I don't care that it's a woman. I care if the game is good or not.
Yeah, it appears that usually, with the exception of, say, like a dumbass Trevor or something, the protagonists in Grand Theft Auto are usually kind of flat and malleable because it's the wackiness around them that like fleshes out, the character of the game and the personality. It's always the wacky cast of characters. Like, look, Claude in 3 didn't even speak. Tommy Vercetti had character, but still, it was like Umberto and like the voodoo lady and Lance doing his dance and in San Andreas, there's all those, woozy and like that was. So it'd be nice for me to give a shit about the story of the person who I'm controlling for once. And there's a possibility for that here. My final pro, the release date. Yes, I'm fine with 2025 because that means it fucking better release in a bug-free, completed state. I mean, at that point, they will have had 12 years. Don't you dare fucking rush it now in like the final 2 years of development. Like, in theory, this game should ship virtually bug-free, at least single-player-wise. I don't care about no online. So, after, like, if this game comes out looking like freaking, what was that, Fallout 76 and Cyberpunk did and all them games that launched all buggy, then like that games are dead. Y'all know I already think games is dead, but if this launches with the bugs, okay, I don't want to hear about, oh, we bringing in the exterminator, we'll get it fixed. No, it's over. Like you had 12 years to make a functional game and it still was buggy,
Now I don't expect online, not that we give a fuck about it, but I don't expect that to launch immediately, or at least, the full online. It might be a beta online. They want people to play the game. So I would imagine for the first 2 or 3 months, online is going to be very limited, if not, like with a TBD on it entirely.
Yeah, because, hey, any kids listening, you might not have been around in 2013. I played more than an hour of GTA Online on 5, but I never played it after 2013 because it launched broken. Like it was hard to even load into the game. It was like a long queue and wait time, and
forget about the anger online over online heists not being available at launch.
Yeah, things were promised that weren't given for like a year, 2 years. I had already stopped playing by then. It's always been surprising to me to see how online has developed and become like the most lucrative, successful part of the game, because when it launched, it was a mess, and I figured, oh, they missed the window. But
I knew huge, something changed though, because when I was working in that damn MyNobs warehouse for a little bit, the guys there would like always play it at night, like when they went home from work, and I don't understand playing video games with your coworkers after you just saw the motherfuckers for 8 hours in a warehouse. You're hopping on the headset and playing, but I played with them once, and I wasn't into the online experience, of GTA. I fucked around with them once. I fucked around like once more a few years later when it took off even further. I think they had added the online heist at that point. And, it's just not for me. I'm not playing that game to do the online.
Look, I was very excited about it when it was announced, like the online trailer in 2013. It was just underwhelming. And I always found it to just be empty and superficial. Like it seemed like it had so much promise, and it just ended up feeling like nothing. So
these damn Benadryls just fell.
No, Benadryls. All right, well, yeah, look, those are my pros. Okay, it looks like a good map, good story. I'm cool with
I'm into the map. That's the thing. Like, most importantly, I'm a big fan of the Florida locale. Vice City is my favorite GTA game, and we're not just getting Vice City. We're getting Florida swamplands and who knows what else. As I mentioned, I love the Gators. I have trepidations, I suppose, about the viral video aspect of it, but we'll see how it's utilized. It could be pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, look, to me, it looks like it's going to be better than 5, at least for the kind of things that I want from this game. So, you know, I'll give this the 8-. The video got me hyped for the game the way it was supposed to.
Well, here are my cons.
I'm all ears.
Okay. This, I guess the usual satire and what appears to be limited writing. Here's the thing. I've outgrown the need, not that there was ever a need, but I've outgrown the need for the exaggerated reality that GTA offers because of two reasons. One, reality's unfortunately deteriorated to where it needs no satire. It's satire in itself. Real life is already cartoonish and unserious. You don't need to depict it that way. You can't really parody life anymore. It is a parody now. Number two, because I'm living it, I don't want to be reminded of it at this point. I like games, at least for me, are great when they feel like escapism, when I'm in a different world. I don't need to play. That was kind of my problem with 5 compared to Vice City and San Andreas. And also my problem with 4 too. Those were like set in the present day, and it's like, get me out of the present day. I don't want to be there. I'd rather them go in a direction where they craft a completely fictional place, not rooted in a real city, or at least go overseas, or do a period piece a la LA Noire or Red Dead Redemption. Like, give me GTA 1977.
I think, well, look, LA Noire is an interesting game. I wouldn't say it's a great game by any means. Red Dead 2 is probably just the game you should play. It sounds like that's what you have more of a thirst for.
Yeah. Like, I don't need to play life, chaos, like mayhem life 2025, you know?
And
like,
this, you know, we do see the clubs and we see the strip, like that same drag we saw in Vice City. You know, there's Vice City in here for sure, but this looks more like Florida Man, the video game.
And I'm not really here for that. It's like, we know Florida Man, the headlines. It's crazy and wacky down in Florida. We know, you know, so it's just, that doesn't get me excited. The thing about the writing, it's like at the end, you know, she's straddling the guy and it's like, we got to stick together. Trust. And he's like, trust. Not working for me. Here's my thing with that. You are the most lucrative franchise in media ever. I would think after all this time, you'd be looking to take video games past that territory of just great for a video game in terms of storytelling into legitimate greatness across any medium.
I
haven't, like I said, I'm casual. I haven't played these games that are critically acclaimed that supposedly have great stories. I've never played The Last of Us, God of War, you know, these games that I hear are really theatrical and cinematic.
I'm telling you, Red Dead is that already. You know, it to me, because of the scope of the story, it's more of like a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like it has definitely more of like an adult bent to the writing.
Yeah. You know, that's what I'm looking for. It's like when I see the trust thing, I'm like, that is video game writing. People don't talk like that. You know, bring in some like real script writers, some Hollywood people. Y'all got billions of dollars, so why not? Like, you remember the Ebert criticism about like video games where he was like, he doesn't think it'll ever be looked at as like a serious storytelling medium or whatever he said. I think we've gotten closer for sure. But to put it to rest once and for all, use all your billions to bring in real writers. And it should be like a great film that's attached to a game. Like, it should be a thing you recommend to people. It's like, you play this game for the story. Like, you have to see this story. It's great. Because usually Grand Theft Auto relies on the same like mafia or gangs stereotypes and tropes is what they usually do. You know, these same characterizations forever. It's like, don't just give me the stereotypical like Kodak Black looking motherfucker or the Florida Man. Give me some real characters that I haven't seen already. You know, I don't think that's too tall of a task because Rockstar is rich is all I'm saying. So my final con is the art style. The game looks very good. The characters are expressive. The animations are good. The hair physics, all that. But the style in itself, I just think I've outgrown it. It's like this sort of soft, slightly animated feel. GTA's never been hyper realistic. I know that, but like same complaint I had with 5. It was just something kind of.
It looks
bubbly.
like 5 to me. I mean, it looks like a more realistic looking 5, like 5 in 4K, basically.
Right. So it's a personal con. Like it's not a bad looking
But
game at
on
all.
that
It's
note,
a great looking game.
To keep bringing it up, Red Dead 2 is their most recent like AAA release, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I much prefer that game to 5. So if we get a lot of different mechanics and things that were introduced for that game into 6, that's only to 6's benefit.
Right. I mean, like I was thinking, it seems like we're going to have a serious story and kind of we relegate the real over the top elements to the people around, like the twerking on the car and the freaking mud show sort of thing. It's like, yeah, the social media aspect. It'd be great if the protagonists are really centered, as they've been in the past in Grand Theft Auto, but actually with something that they're working towards that I care about. Because usually it's like they're kind of at the mercy of the plot. Like, I want them to be the plot. Like, I want to care about these characters and hopefully not just be slaves to the wackiness around them. So my final thoughts, 6+ for now, which is definitely not like F this game, I don't want to see anymore. I'm waiting on gameplay. I like to see the gameplay, and I hope that the single player aspect is shown love, even though the billions came from online. I know they're not going to go away from that. I would be stupid to expect that, but hopefully there's some real replay value for single player fans.
Agreed.
I'm
only going off the trailer. What I saw in the trailer, I'm giving it an 8- for now. It did its job in getting me properly hyped for this game. I can wait till 2025 because I'm not a child, but I'm certainly excited for it. I won't know until I have the game in hand and I get a couple hours in it how I feel. It'll take me like 4 or 5 hours to even get an initial, okay, I like the feel of this game. I drove around a little bit. I like how the cars handle. I like they say that there's going to be a lot more environments that are interactive. I don't know if that means like pieces of buildings falling if they get hit with something, or, you being able to enter and exit more buildings. I'm not sure exactly like what all of that will entail. But, of course, the more feature rich the game is, the more you can really dive into it, and the possibilities could be endless. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think the story off top looks way better than last game. So 8-.
Yeah, 6+. I mean, personally, after all this wait, it failed to excite me, but I am intrigued. So it's not like I'm not writing the game off. There are more trailers to come. This.
I wasn't waiting. I hadn't, like, if 5 was it and they were going to just keep milking that online forever, I would just move on, I don't live my life by this series.
Oh, you're right. Me either, But I would be lying if it's like...
I'm not the biggest fan of 5 or 4, I haven't technically loved a GTA game since San Andreas.
Same. So I guess we're boomers, but like... Look, I'm 30 years old, okay, and I was born in 93, and I haven't loved a Grand Theft Auto game.
Does this game not have more potential than 4 and 5 did on paper?
It does. That I agree with. It can wash away the madness of 4 and 5 for me. But that remains to be seen.
Play Red Dead 2. Okay, that's my advice to you and anyone else listening who hasn't played it.
All right, well, I won't be playing no video games because, like I said, I haven't since 2021, and it's because of this show, this program, Rap Rankings. No games, because no time. Okay, I'm a podcaster.
All right, okay. James Rolfe, he told us there was no time. He was right.
Yeah, so shout out to all my gamers out there, though. I hope y'all get delivered I truly mean this, not in a buzzword sense, a generational game with this Grand Theft Auto 6. Mools and I will be keeping tabs.
The future of gaming depends on this game. If this game is a disappointment, pack it up, pack it in, let me begin, okay?
I told Mools this on the phone. I really believe if this game is not great, It has to be great. More than great. It has to be. I told him on the rap ranking scale, it needs to be a 9. It can't be anything lower than an 8+. It's possible it'll be a masterpiece and be a 10. But anything under an 8+ is unacceptable. After all this weight and all the money and all of the prestige that this studio has, it needs to deliver. If it doesn't, Games is dead. I've been telling y'all that, but it's officially dead. So hopefully that doesn't happen because, you know, I do love games at heart, even as a casual. So your favorite casual gamers, Mools and Mel, with our take on.
And I'm going to say this to all my gamers, okay? If fucking Shitfield, aka Starfield, doesn't give you some pause regarding the next Elder Scrolls game, then, you know, listen, this GTA 6, if it sucks, forget about Red Dead 3, okay? Forget about that shit. Games is done.
Yeah. All right. Games is done already, but they will be in the grave if this game doesn't satisfy. Okay.
There's a lot riding on this. That's all I can say. Everyone else has let us down.
Yeah. All right.
This shit sucks. All we're gonna have is fucking Mario and Zelda. Okay.
No, listen. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I you know. Nintendo, yeah, they litigious asses. They don't
stop Asian hate, okay? Stop Asian hate.
There ain't no Asian hate. All right, we're moving on, folks. This is Mools and Mel, with our procedurally generated tangent.
Yeah.
Signing
and now,
out.
Back to Meek Mill. Dreams worth more than money.
Actually, no. Can we stay here? Can we just keep talking about Grand Theft? I don't want to talk about this fucking poolside fry eating fuck. Can we not? We owe our audience. They pay us for this. All right, fine. Good night, everybody on YouTube.